today's video is going to cover a few topics around your body composition and the body composition analysis we done last week. So the first thing I want to cover is why the scale, the numbers on the scale are not as important as your body composition analysis. Number two, how this body composition analysis is in fact a prevention check, and it reveals key health metrics about your health, your overall health, and how to work around your BMR, which is your basal metabolic rate, in order to maximize your results and your goals going forward. So number one, why is it not important to look at the scale and just look at the numbers? Because I see people sometimes and they come to me and they say, oh, I did very well last week and I dropped 7 or 8 kilograms last week. And I'm like, wow, that's great. What did you actually lose? Because you see, please write this down. There are a few things that comprise of your overall body weight. So when you lose weight, you can either lose body water, you can either lose muscle mass, you can either lose body fat, which is what we aim to lose, all of us. It would be ideal. In an ideal world, we all lose just body fat. And another thing that you may also lose is bone density, and we don't want to lose that, of course, either. So usually muscle mass is much heavier than body fat. So if you suddenly drop on the scale, make sure it's not make sure it's not muscle, because muscle, you have to think of muscle as the fuel, not as the fuel actually, but as the engine through which you burn the fuel. And the fuel, of course, is the energy that is stored in your fat cells. So what you really want to do, you want to get your body to tap into these resources, these energy resources which are stored in the fat cells, to use them as fuel to gain more muscle and therefore more fuel burning power. All right, so this is number one. Another reason, if you look at your reports, if you haven't received those yet, you will very soon. The reports, the second line on the report, it talks about visceral fat. If you guys have never heard of that or you don't know what it is, visceral fat is the fat that covers your internal organs, your vital organs. So your body perceives that I am in danger and I need to protect my vital organs. So therefore it creates layers and layers of fat around those vital organs to prepare you for a potential impact that's only in your mind, of course. And what people don't understand is that this visceral fat is increased through stress. When you stress about taxes, about kids, about husband, about wife, about arguments you have with colleagues, and things that are not actually real dangers, it's not like a lion chase you in the forest trying to, have a bite of your juiciness. It's just something that it's in your mind and you're worried constantly, stressed about it, or it can just be daily stress life, So stress increases visceral fat. You want to keep that low, because this alone is a great indicator that your health is impaired, which means your autoimmune system goes down. You are more prone to get sick or get ill, easier than other people. So you want to make sure that you keep this visceral fat low as possible. There are other things over there that you need to make sure you keep in check with. For instance, the last line is your body water. At the end of the day, men should have 65% of body water, women should have 60%. Of course, you will notice that the lower your muscle mass on the chart, the less capability to store water you're going to have, because the water is part of the muscle as well. So if you find that you've got a low hydration, it's probably because you haven't got enough muscle to store more water. But that's not necessary. So make sure you're drinking enough water. to stay hydrated and stay healthy. Now lastly, let me go to another bit of information which I'm sure most of you will find very interesting. Do you know how many calories stays within 1 kilogram of body fat? 1 kilogram of body fat, it's the equivalent of 7,500 calories. Okay, make sure you write this down. I'll try to write this down for you. So 1 kilogram of body fat equals 7,500 calories. Do you know how many calories you burn during a workout? Okay, so let me tell you, an average person with a good muscle mass, it always depends on how much muscle mass you have. Okay, so remember, the amount of calories you burn during each workout is highly influenced by the overall percentage of muscle mass you have out of your overall weight. So a normal person would burn around 500 calories. Yeah, so if you think that 1 kilogram of body fat equals 7,500 calories, then if you divide that by 500 calories per workout, you will realize that you need about 15 workouts, yeah, to burn 7,500 calories. Now also I need to clarify something for you. So if you need 15 workouts to burn 1 kilogram of body fat, the equivalent of 1 kilogram of body fat, which is 7,500 calories, you need to understand that those 7,500 calories is in excess. It's a deficit of calories that you need to create. And let me get to that in a bit. For instance, if you go to the report that I've sent you, on the left corner, down on the left corner, you will see that you have a value which is called basal metabolic rate, BMR. BMR means the baseline at which your body burns calories throughout the day, right? For everyone this is different. It depends again on how much muscle they have. That's why we're talking about muscle. It's good to have more muscle. That's why you're trying to eat, you know, you're struggling not to eat so much, and you look at the person that's really vegan, has got a lot of muscle, and they can eat as much as you can't imagine, and that's why they can get away with it, because their body burns it very quickly, because the muscle, it turned into a fuel burning machine. So the more muscle you have, the better. All right, so let's go back to the BMR. So the BMR for each one of you is different, as I said. The basal metabolic rate can be used as a guideline for you to know what you normally burn without having to exercise or without eating as much. So for example, if I have a BMR, basal metabolic rate, of 1,000 calories, right? And then there's nothing going in, yeah, please look at this slide. So there's nothing going in, but there is the 1,000 going out steadily every day. The net effect at the end of the day is going to be minus 1,000 calories. That is my deficit, okay? That one right there, down there, that's the deficit. So you have to think about it like that. If you're gonna train that day, right, you're gonna eat as much as you need. Let's say you eat the same amount with your basal metabolic rate. So say I'm eating 1,000 calories and I'm trained and my body burns 1,000 calories by default. Yeah, the net effect at the end of the day is gonna be 0, right? So there's no deficit there, okay? Because everything I ate, my body used it, so the end effect is 0. All right, now if I need this deficit that we were talking about, because we need to create a deficit in order to lose some extra weight that we don't want it on us. To create this deficit, you need to incorporate your exercise. So if you're eating 1,000, let's go again. If you're eating 1,000 and your body burns 1,000 and then you go train another 500 calories, you've got a deficit of minus 500 calories there, right? Okay, if I did this right. So if you continue to do this for a sustained period of time and you add it up, at the end of the day, you're going to have at the end of the week, you're going to have accumulated deficit. That means you're spending more calories than you're actually taking in. And even though that's not everything, there are other things that are affecting how much weight you lose, such as how you sleep, how you stretch, how you recover, your stress levels. There are so many other things that can affect your weight loss. So it's not just numbers in and numbers out. Let me be clear with that. You have to look after yourself. You have to sleep well. You have to eat well. You have to relax. There are so many other things that you need to take into consideration. And also, let me remind you that at the deeper levels of your sleep, when your sleep is the deepest, that's when your body creates hormones such as growth hormones, which are imperative for fat loss, for well-being, and all of these things. So you need to sleep very deeply every night in order to allow your body to create these hormones, which are the good hormones and the fat-burning hormones in your body. If you have any questions, drop them below. Don't forget to follow us on Insta.